Hello and welcome to the Dark Asylum podcast. I, of course, am the chosen one. Wonderful Zach Winters. You're not getting my government name this time. With me, as always, Darkness.
How's it going, everybody?
And the man who always looks good, covered in my chum, Big Vicious.
And I'm a fifth in, so guess what? Hoorah.
Speaking of a fifth in, this week's episode brought to you by Boneyard Beer, Incredible Pulp, Blood Orange, Extra Pale Ale.
Say that like we're actually getting money from them. What the fuck?
Well, I am.
Oh, you got yourself some side action. All right, good for you.
Yeah. I saw this at the store and I wanted to buy it, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to give you guys a live review, because, like, see that?
No, I don't see it.
Or, hear that?
Oh, yeah, I do hear it.
That's me actually opening for the first taste.
Dude.
It's got a weird pink color.
So, first taste, it sounds like you're a fifth in, too. See that? See that? Look, right there, motherfucker.
I had a bottle, like, I tried making mulled wine earlier because it's Christmas and we're celebrating Christmas.
I had a girlfriend that had a kid years ago, and she put apple juice into one of her sippy cups and then forgot it in the truck for like 3 months.
Nice.
The kid grabbed it and started drinking it. And
Oh, fuck!
Why they were all drunk and out of their mind. I was like, oh my god.
So
Fermented apple juice. Good
Incredible
stuff.
Pulp, that's a big thumbs up from me.
Okay.
It's a orangey, super smooth beer. If you like citrusy beer.
There was one that I used to like. I can't find it ever.
I was very scared that, like, because of the name Incredible Pulp, I was really scared that there's going to be pulp in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was, I was going to be outrageously unhappy.
You don't like pulp in your orange juice? What the hell?
Oh, fuck no. Fuck.
What, like chewing your juice?
Ugh. If I wanted pulp, I'd just eat a fucking orange.
Well, that's true. What's that?
Anyway, guys,
wheat.
how the fuck have you been this week?
It's just another fucking week in the books.
Another fucking week in COVID world.
Oh, yeah.
I've had some interesting. Well, yesterday was very interesting at work.
That you're not allowed to talk about anymore.
Oh no, fuck it. I'm talking about this. So
Don't say the name of it. I don't want to fucking edit this thing and put in beeps and whistles and shit.
I will not mention.
Yeah, thanks.
So usually it's me and another person, and that person wasn't able to work that day because he had to wait for his new dryer to come in that morning. So, that means a whole day. So we're getting closer to the holiday season, so it's the big time for not buying your stuff, I guess. So, I'm not the most quickest or fastest person in the world of asset protection. So when you have when you have multiple things going on, you're like, I'm just going to do what I do best. I'm going to be an asshole. So first guy, fucking watching him for a little while, look over and I see another cart that's probably a good, $2,000 worth of stuff. I'm like, fuck. All right, this dude only got a few $100s. That guy has a few thousand. So this is what I'm going to do. So I walk up to the guy. I'm like, hey, how you doing today? He's like, I'm good. I'm like, cool. Drop the shit out of your fucking jacket and get the fuck out of my store. What the fuck? And the guy's like, huh? And I'm like, I said, take the shit out of your jacket or I'm going to fucking strip you in the store and drag you out. And he's like, here, dude, just fucking take it. So he starts pulling out. He has a fucking merchandise. So I won't go into the product because then people will figure out where I work, whatever. So he pulls it out, and I'm like, I would start walking. I'm like, move it, move it, move it! And he fucking just books out the door. So I take off to the next cart. The dude's fucking rolling around, fucking looking for an exit. And here's another group of people that come in that are fucking, they got 5 reusable bags that are empty, and I'm like, fuck. So the guy with the cart, we start walking around. I'm following him, and he's looking, and he's going back and forth to X exit. Finally, he comes around this corner. I put my foot on the corner. I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? He's like, do I know you? And I'm like, you don't want to know me. I would leave. He's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, let's see. You have 2 of this item, which is the same thing but a different brand. 4 of these, 5 of these, and 4 of those. Yeah, you ain't buying them. Get the fuck out. He was like, dude, how you talk to all your customers that way? I'm like, you're not my customer. He's like, you work here, don't you? And I'm like, no, I make sure people don't fucking walk out of the store with merchandise that don't belong to them. And he starts fucking barking, and all of a sudden a manager comes up, and they get into this whole thing about like, oh, he's mistreating me. So the manager knew what was up. So I was like, cool, you got this? Took off. Fucking round the corner, and this group of people with these reusable bags are just fucking shoveling cell phone accessories into it. I fucking walked up, snagged all the bags out of their hands, fucking threw them up on the top shelf, and I said, get the fuck out. And this one dude steps up, he's like, what, homie? You got something to say? I'm like, yeah, I got something to say. There's a police officer waiting outside for you. They fucking all scattered in like 5 different directions. I was just like, dude. And the last one, I was already like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours over, and I was following this guy, and his cart went from empty to like literally taller than me, just like heaping. And I was like, man, I can't be here any longer. No sooner than I left, I came in today, and I get handed this receipt that was like literally as tall as me. And the dude tried to walk out with like $3,000 worth of stuff. And another associate, which thankfully the manager that night was cool, said, yeah, this doesn't get talked about because you could get fired. The dude stepped in front and goes, no, nobody knows. So the dude's like, he's like, hey, you got a receipt for this? He's like, yeah, man, I just paid for it down there. He's like, I think not. He kicked the cart backwards. The guy's like, what the fuck? Drops his book bag that had fucking other stuff in it. He kicks that to the side. And the guy's like, dude, fuck you, I'm leaving. He left. Inside the book bag had a good $600-700 worth of merchandise from another store.
Yeah, I would always like picking people up, and they had bags or something, and they have shit from other stores. And I'd have to call up the other store. I'm like, hey, you guys want to come down and pick up your stuff? And they're like, damn it, was it this guy? I was like, yeah, how'd you know? We were watching him, we couldn't get anything. I was like, oh, man. That was working in the mall, though. We were all like talking to each other, but yeah.
The funniest thing is, I have this bag sitting in my office that has an Apple, what are they called, MacBook?
Yeah.
So there was this one day, this little tweaky chick comes in with this dude that we already like fucking kicked out a few times. So we're watching, they all separate. Well, she ends up popping a fucking energy drink, chugging that, putting a few other things in her pocket, goes up to the register, tries to buy the energy drink, gets declined, and goes to walk out. So it's like, dude, we're just going to like get her trespassed. So she goes to walk, and we're like, yo, asset protection. She's like, you can't stop me. And I'm like, huh? So I barely touched the loop of her backpack. She slips out of it, and she's like, you can keep it, and takes off, right? Well, I think she finally, out of her fucking drugged-ass mind, realized that, oh, shit. Because later on, she's coming back trying to get it. I'm like, give me your name, your fucking date of birth, and fucking sign this piece of paper, and I'll let you have it. And she's like, no, fuck that, and kept taking off. So I go inside this bag. It has this fucking Apple MacBook. Had fucking 4 big wads of fucking foil that when you open it up, it was all heroin. And a syringe. So I take the heroin and the syringe, throw it in our fucking, our sharps bucket. I take the little bottle container that had this shake weed in it. I spray all this fucking perfume stuff in it, so if she ever gets it back, that'd be fun. Yeah. And then, but she keeps coming back, so she shut these 2 guys in one day. And they were all standing up there trying to look intimidating, and me and my partner walk up, and all of a sudden these 2 fucking cowered. They're like, we're here to pick up a backpack that has a laptop in it. Yeah, you don't look like the person who belongs to, so she needs to come in, give us all this information. She comes up and she won't give the information because she's on parole and all this shit, and she takes off again. So I'm like, 90 days is coming up, and that's how long we keep shit in Lost and Found. It looks like I have a new fucking MacBook.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Yeah, I always like when I worked at the resort, we'd have I think it was 90 days for Lost and Found, and the girl that worked Lost and Found, she'd call me. She's like, "I need help with Lost and Found." I'm like, "Are you getting rid of stuff?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm on my way." It was like you just get to keep all the shit that they were throwing away. I mean, most of it was fucking like waterlogged clothing that got left on a balcony, but every now and then you'd find something cool in there. I used to love Lost and Found Day. It was cool.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing with this chick
This is mine. This is mine. This is
is
mine.
she literally called the cops and told them that we stole her stuff. And the cop, when he called us, it was like, I explained exactly what happened. I'm like, no, dude, this is what went on. She, as soon as I barely touched the bag, she let it go and said, "You can keep it." Took off walking. I'm like, you can see that all on video. And now she's refusing to give us her information. He's like, "Oh, I guess I'll come down." Um, because he thought he was like, "Let me guess, she was stealing stuff." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, well, is the stuff in the bag hers?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's hers. I'm not going to lie to you." And he's like, "Oh." And like no cops ever showed up. And that's the thing. Told her, you give us your information, we trespass you, you get your belongings back. She refuses to do it. So in 90 days, it's like, yep, it's no longer here.
Well,
She already got. She kind of got scared when we said, "How about we just call the cops and hand it over to them, and then you can deal with that?" She's like, "No, no, no," because she was freaking out. Because I mean, she had fucking a good grip of heroin in there. It's like, fuck.
Jesus. Oh, that fucking Huron, man. Big old things of it. Yeah, you gotta kind of pick and choose your battles with that. It's like, do I really want the MacBook back that badly? Even I'm gonna put up with heroin charges.
And the funny thing is, well, I mean, it's not a charge now. What they get put through free rehab,
Oh yeah, now that the law changed, but
but
yeah,
I mean, I think she's too fucking whacked out to realize that. But the funny thing is, like, I even told her I have her name. I just need her date of birth because inside the fucking MacBook, you open it up, it's all fucking security locked with her fucking first and last name right there. And she's just not
Her
getting it.
password, her social number.
She's just not understanding. I'm like, dude, we already have your shit, dude. Just give us your birth so we can fucking file it in our system and sign this piece of paper.
yeah.
It's like,
They never seem
but
to want
that's
to
the
do
shit you
that
deal with
though.
all the time.
Yeah, fucking people. How about you, Zach? Anything going on with you?
Yep.
We've got a 15 minutes of Big V's return to How Did V Almost Die?
How did Big V almost died? I have been just preparing for Christmas all week. I've shit. Still working very little. Back to working very little. Um, let's see. I'm still playing Cyberpunk, which it's still good.
Yeah, I ran into
Um,
my first game breaking issue, so
I haven't ran
yeah,
anything game breaking, but like I've had it crash a few times on me, which is always frustrating.
yeah,
Most of it's just been like stupid glitches where I recorded a video of this one where I just walked through it was a thief mission and nobody was shooting at me. They were all pointing their guns and talking shit, but nobody was shooting at me.
they were they weren't the most intimidating gang, but they sit there
That's
and
the
talk
best kind of
shit on
mission,
you.
yo.
Yeah. So I walked in, took what I had, walked out,
That's the
and
best kind
I
of
got
mission.
credit. I got credit for I got the stealth bonus out of that one.
They just stood there yelling at you.
They just yelled at me while I took their shit, and then all right, fine, whatever. Let's see. I've also been playing Pray for the Gods, which is pretty good.
And they've been having games for Christmas coming out on different, different companies like Steam and GOG
Oh
and
yeah.
all that stuff. So I've been looking into those. I got a free $10 off coupon, and I bought Carrion for it ended up being $5.
Carrion's so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that one. So more games on the horizon when I get tired of Cyberpunk, or I hit 8 MB
Ooh.
for my save file. Because then it'll
Oh
freeze
yeah, it's
and
been wiping.
corrupt it. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
everything else I could deal with, but when you start fucking with my progress, I don't know.
I've got 20 hours in this motherfucker. You freeze that, I am not gonna be happy.
Yeah, and it's like the only reason that the save file gets bigger is because you have stuff in your inventory, mostly crafting stuff. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
just give up on crafting or what the fuck. But yeah, so that's the only real thing I've dealt with Cyberpunk so far. I'm just worried I'm gonna hit that
Um,
limit, but and I had a I don't know if I talked about it or not. The Cyber Psycho gets stuck on the floor, and I couldn't pick up the shit that was left over after they died, so I couldn't finish the mission. I was like, what the
fuck.
fuck? But yeah, they got stuck on the floor after I shot them in the head. So
Ooh, do you have the weird glitch where like you like get out of a cutscene or get out of the car and your character doesn't run until like you pause the game and unpause it?
yeah, I've had similar ones like that. Like I'd be on zoom mode, and I'm like clicking zoom in and out, and it'll finally like click out of it so I can start running again. Whenever I get
Yeah.
on a
But
motorcycle, my character's got no hair or hats or anything, and they're just bald. So
I've
they
seen yeah,
just,
I've seen like horrible game breaking glitches. I haven't ran into any of them. I'm
yeah.
enjoying the game.
Yeah, I haven't run into it yet, but there's one out there, and I'm worried about it. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't disassemble all this crap, and I should go sell it instead. But yeah,
I'm worried about the yeah, I'm worried about that one, the corrupting your save file.
yeah. But that's about it. I mean,
So I read something, and I don't know if you guys just brought that up because I got lost for a second. Um, PlayStation is letting people refund.
oh
Yep.
yeah, they took it off the marketplace too.
Which hold on, which that's horseshit because they didn't give a fuck until CD Projekt started fucking with their money.
Yeah, when CD Projekt started saying, yeah, you can get refunds from PlayStation, PlayStation, wait, what?
PlayStation, yeah. Sony was like straight up, the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you're gonna be like that, are you? Well, we're just gonna take you off the fucking marketplace now.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like that Silent Hill thing where, oh, I have Cyberpunk on PlayStation. It's worth like $3,000 all of a sudden.
I know. I better not. I better not take mine off when I'm done with it.
Right?
But I
Because
don't know.
apparently my PS5 is already worth $2,000, so I could add another six to that if I have Cyberpunk on it. Apparently.
Fucking scalpers, man. They'll pay anything out there.
No. Scalping the scalpers.
Right? Send them a box of cat food.
I'm like, I'm like, I'm like the Punisher, only a fucking dork.
Somebody should do that. It's
Somebody
like
does do that.
Nerd Punisher.
You've never seen the guy who uh, he punishes porch pirates,
With the glitter bombs and stuff.
the glitter bombs and like the fart spray and shit.
Yeah, I have seen that guy.
That guy's kind of like a nerd Punisher.
Yeah, I could see it.
No, yeah, that guy. He's I can't remember what his channel's called, but he does. He's like the science guy. Like he does a lot of shit with that, like elephant foam.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my.
the elephant toothpaste.
So he's in the Guinness Book of World Records. He had his stepkid's birthday party, and they did the largest how far it shot up in the air.
Yeah,
Uh, and then he made a version of it that was human safe, where you could actually swim in it. And he did filled up a pool, and everybody like jumped around in it and shit.
yeah. I remember that one too. That was pretty funny.
But yeah, the
Oh,
glitter bomb.
going back to like cyberpunk stuff because I just remembered that they're apparently getting sued also.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, the story was, hey, people could probably sue them for it, and it was like one
Some
of those
people are.
gaming websites that was like trying to push for it to happen, and then all of a sudden it started happening.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it was
Um,
Kotaku or Game Informer or whatever the hell it was, but the game
they've
journalists are
just been
still
like
mad at them because they didn't send them out free shit.
it's well, it's like it's this old story about the emperor with no clothes, you know, and CD Projekt was the emperor after the Witcher series, which is the only thing they come in. It's all fucking gold, but they come this and it's just they shit out this and it's just like not. It's well, it's good, but it's just riddled with bugs. It's not working for some people, and then they talked about how they never have to have crunch periods for their developers. And then later in the year, their developers were talking about how they had to do 100-hour weeks.
Yeah, it's the fans are the ones that kind of ruined it because they were like just fucking demanding that this game come out, so they
I
rushed it,
think so, yeah.
and it caused issues. And I
Well,
understand the company had to get the shit out, but they should also understand that they can't just fucking send out a buggy game.
it's like, dude, if it's February, if it takes till February to fucking fix it, then I'll wait till February.
Yeah, I still kind of play it, but I'm not getting really deep into it. I'll do side stuff and I'll go around reading or whatever, but I'm not getting really invested because I don't want to have a corrupt save file or have something else happen that. So I'm waiting until the two
The
big updates drop in January and February.
the day my save file becomes corrupt, I will cry.
So Cyberpunk 2077 sold 13 million in first 10 days, even with
Despite
refunds.
all this shit.
Yeah.
Even with refunds.
CD Projekt Red was one of the last few decent game publishers. I mean, you got EA and you got, all that other crap who, with their bullshit.
I guess
Well,
GameStop
because
GameStop
Keanu
is
Reeves hangs dong in that.
yeah. GameStop is accepting returns even if the game's open.
That's that.
Yep.
Oh God, that's gotta hurt GameStop for God's sake.
GameStop's already fucking hurting too.
Yeah, but I mean, to do a return at GameStop, you need to have the Lord Jesus's name and blood, and you need to sacrifice a goat, everything else for them to accept a refund because they just. I tried to bring one back because I got another one for a birthday, and they're like, "Oh no, I saw you opened it." I'm like, "What?" It's like, "No, how could I have
Yep.
opened it?" There's a little cut here in the cellophane. I'm like, "No, you're out of your mind, dude." I was like, "Fuck you! I'll go and sell it on eBay. I don't need this shit."
I worked at GameStop for about a year, and yeah, this is all true.
Yeah. The what was it? What they call it? The life cycle of the game or something
The
like that.
Circle of Life.
Circle of life.
Circle of
Yeah.
Life.
Oh my god. You fucking brand new game costs less than a used copy? What the fuck? You guys are fucking running scams out the ass over there.
Oh,
But
and they're proud of it too.
oh yeah. Yeah, they just throw shit away. Dumpster diving at the GameStop used to be a big thing when I was a kid. But it was
Yeah,
called
not so much
software,
anymore
etc.
because not so much anymore because they kind of got smart to that. Which was I didn't even understand. We had to scratch up discs.
It's so fucked up. It's like when the bookstores have to tear off the cover and just mail back the cover of a book and then they throw the rest of the book in the dumpster. It's like, what the fuck?
We did that with the walkthroughs,
Yeah, the game guides.
the game guides, and we just tear off the covers and throw them away.
Shit. The same thing when I worked at the hotel, man. They would have like these big ass banquets, and hardly anyone would eat any of the food. And it's like, just take it down to
Yep.
the shelter or something. They're like, nope, bam, right into the dumpster. Like, what the fuck?
Right?
Yeah,
Wow,
lobster.
I thought my hotel was bad about that because they give it to the employees.
Oh no, they bring it by our office. You want any of this? And I'm like, I don't eat lamb and lobster tails, or I'll have a couple of those. And like, all
Why
right,
don't
and
you eat
they,
lamb?
I just wasn't. It was a weird thing for me. I had some one time. It wasn't bad, but it was just like one of those weird. I was like, I'm not used to this. I'm not gonna try it. But
Oh,
it was one of the
I
common
don't like things that
things.
are delicious.
Well, I didn't know. Jesus, you have Rocky Mountain oysters. Have you had those before?
No, and they might be
Okay.
delicious.
Let's see, but
I
what?
just don't want to because I don't want to eat balls.
There you go.
They're
Well,
not booking me.
yeah, exactly. Fuck. But yeah, I didn't know lamb was good, and they did it well. So I was like, all right, this isn't bad. But I still can't stand liver, and I
Speaking
did try that. So
Love
liver
liver.
is good. Yeah, Sam. Speaking of balls, I found out a new thing this week.
Oh fuck.
It's called it's called putting in two dogs in the bathtub, right? And it's when you dip your balls into the girl's butthole.
okay,
Okay.
Which I
If
found
there's
out is possible.
oh fuck, if there's ever a point where I can dip my balls in somebody's butthole, then it's not worth it.
you have to take them out for Mexican food beforehand to try and loosen them up for your balls. There, V.
Right?
Dude, fuck.
You need a basketball sized hole for my fucking balls to dip into that butthole.
God. Uh,
I'm sorry
okay,
I
so
brought
that's
this up
called
now.
that's called putting the dogs in the tub. Is that what that is?
Put the dogs in the bathtub.
Dogs in the bathtub. How many fucking weird ass things have gotten names? I
So
mean,
they
Arabian
brought it up. They brought
goggles.
it up.
I know that. I know
They
Rusty
brought it up
Nail.
on. They brought it up on one of my favorite podcasts, besides this one that I listen to. And the fan group on Facebook was just like, "Hey, this is an actual thing. Look at this."
So they're sending them fucking pictures of it, or
No, it was just the Urban Dictionary thing.
oh, God, Urban Dictionary is fucking. You get lost on that thing in rabbit hole. It's just like Jesus.
Putting the dogs.
Look it up, V.
Put the dogs in the
He's
bathtub.
looking it up.
He is all over it. He's gonna be cranking his fat little wiener off to this later.
It's gonna be like a fucking Xbox achievement for him. He's gonna try and do it now. Cramming testes. Go for it, bud.
So like you like we talk shit, but he's gotten his hand up in there up a girl once, and he's got like those baseball mitt hands.
Worked her like a fucking puppet.
Oh yeah.
Good for me.
You haven't-
He's just gone quiet.
you
I
haven't-
think he found it.
Yeah. You don't remember us talking about the Swedish chef,
I don't remember that. When was this?
or it was either Swedish chef or sock puppet.
Sock puppet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no, Andrea the Giant told me about the Swedish chef.
Oh yeah. She's awesome.
She's awesome.
She is like.
She's an awesome woman. She told me the story about when she fisted a lady, which her hands are bigger than Big V's.
Andrea the Giant.
Andrea the Giant is legit. How fucking tall would you
So-
say she is?
I'd say
Oh God.
she's.
Taller than
I'd say
me?
about.
Yeah,
I'm
she's-
6. Well, she's not too much taller than I am because I'm 6'2", so I'd say she's about 6'4" at least.
Okay. Yeah. She. I wrestled with it. We wrestled. We had a match. It was a 4-way, and it was just like she was so fucking fun to wrestle. I loved it. She's a great person.
It was weird because so back when we it was what was it called?
Hey there.
Well, we went to Utah and met Andrea there, and it was like, I was like, the fuck, like this chick. I was like, who the fuck is this? And actually working with her was crazy. She was just a monster, but very fucking fun to work with, man. Um,
I haven't had the chance to work with her yet.
yeah, no, I worked with her a couple times in Utah, and then once here in Oregon.
Was in California. She was doing a program with a friend of mine, Dexter. This is Dexter Millhouse, and he somehow got the women's championship. So he was calling himself the champion of women, and like he beat all the girls, and then they brought her in to like basically destroy him. And it was a great program with them. But yeah, she's great. So. Yeah, Andrea the Giant talking about the Swedish chefing someone.
Yep.
God damn. All right, well, this show's going rapidly downhill, especially for our Christmas
Very
episode.
rapid. Oh, we could keep going downhill because I'm talking about. Since we brought up Utah, we could talk about the time Big V and Buddy Highway were running around naked in the hotel room.
Okay, no, so
Look how defensive he gets.
oh my god, no. So I wasn't naked. Buddy, so Buddy Highway's not a drinker, okay? So we're fucking I think it was the day after my birthday. No, because that was that one. Anyways, me and Buddy fucking decided to fucking get wasted, right? And Bad Blood's already fucking up in the room and in bed, and we come crashing in, and we're like,
Because he's an old man.
He's like, shut the fuck up, you're going to get us in trouble. We're like, shh, fuck you. And we're continuing drinking, right? We're just like fucking just a ruckus. And fucking Buddy, like, I don't know what the fuck, but also we hear this pounding at the door, and we're like, shh. And we're like, you know, when you try to do the shh all quiet, but it's like magnified, you're like, shh, nobody can hear us. Fucking,
we're two giant men. Nobody notices us.
We're trying to hide and fucking be quiet, and BJ's like, oh fuck, you know. Anyway, Buddy opens the fucking door, and it's fucking the Utah Police Department. And they're like, well, we've got complaints about blah, 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 running through the halls and da, 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 da. And we're like, no, dude, we're just been in the room fucking hanging out. And the cops are like, well, we've had complaints about noises coming from the room. And Buddy's like, that's okay, officer. We're from out of town. Everything will be okay. It's like, holy fuck, Buddy.
That's his excuse.
We're not from around here.
We're from out of town. Everything will be okay.
We're not from around here. It's cool.
And fucking, you got Bad Blood going, shut the fuck up. And I'm standing there, I got a bottle in my hand, fucking in the corner going, fucking, finally, we're like, okay, we'll quiet down. Shut the door. And fucking, we're like, holy fuck. All of a sudden, we start picking up the noise again. All of a sudden, we hear, boom, 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 boom. And fucking, we just dispersed in corners and just stayed quiet. And we're like, fuck, we're going to get arrested in Utah.
Why was Buddy Highway naked, though?
Fuck if I know why.
Because that's just how he do, man.
There's a lot of things I can't explain.
The fact that we were banging is one of them.
That's wrong, bro.
Okay, that was touched a nerve, I guess.
That was the line.
After all this time,
After all this time, I found the line.
Buddy
the
Highway.
Love of Big V.
I don't know.
Highway.
So, okay,
I adore Buddy Highway, but I never have sex with him.
You remember the Buddy Highway incident where he was not wrestling at the time, so he was just recording, doing filming, and we ended up taking his camera, which was Ed's. You remember
Yes.
that? The NWWA show, and we took off with the camera of somebody's belt, and fucking us, and somebody got to see why nobody wants Big V to take the puppies to the bathtub. So the story goes, Buddy Highway took a period of time for personal reasons, his mental health and his music, and we all know Buddy likes to dabble into a lot of different things, and he's always been successful in stuff. His football, weightlifting, music.
Check him out, Doughboy Records, if you're not familiar.
Yeah, fucking Buddy does really well. Like when he puts his mind to things, like fucking he does. And he got into filming with his former father-in-law, I believe it was.
Maybe, I don't remember.
Well, I don't know if they ever got married, but Ed was, so he was doing filming for Ed, and Ed did a lot of wrestling filming and also hip-hop and music and stuff like that. But he's at the show, and he puts the camera down, and he's like, hey, can you guys watch this? We're like, yeah. Next thing you know, me and fucking Zach are running off to like some fucking far off corner. We're like, all right. Zach's doing the commentating, and I'm just like, whack. It's like, I don't know whose build it was. But years and years later, fucking I see Buddy Highway again. He's like, you motherfucker. Me and Ed are sitting there fucking editing these videos, and I hear Ed go, what the fuck is that? Buddy Highway had no clue. He had no clue we did that, and fucking him and Ed are editing this video, and it's just like fucking the Onion Brain right on the fucking title.
Fucking Big V's balls. Oh man, it was awful. It's like Big V's just standing there. Yeah, look at my balls. I'm gonna put it on Buddy Highway's belt.
It was funny too because I don't even know whose belt it was. Whose belt did we do that to?
I don't fucking remember.
I don't know. But it was funny too because one of the last times I got to see Ed, it was the first time I saw him after that whole incident, and this was like a couple of years later. It was like, I come walk into this room, and I look over and I see Ed, and I go to wave, and he just gives me this glare, and I start laughing. I walk up, I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, I never in my life wanted to see anything like that. I'm like, bro, to be honest, I didn't know you were going to see that.
So, my favorite. While we're on the subject, we're going way off the rails on this episode. My favorite Buddy Highway story. We were wrestling in Bremerton. We're on our way to Bremerton, right? Bremerton, Washington. And for like an hour, we're driving up I-5, and Buddy Highway's just like, hey, you gotta pull over soon. I gotta take a fat shit. Oh, you mean at that rest stop that we're driving past right now? Zoom. Oh, you motherfucker. So we passed like 3 or 4 rest stops before dude, you gotta let me out before I shit my pants. I was like, all right, I'm not cleaning that shit up. So we pull into a rest stop. We go, like, Buddy Highway is like, he can't even run. He's pinching his ass cheeks together and going into the bathroom. I'm going in there to go pee. I see this motherfucker kick the door down. Legitimately. He like kicks the door, turns, locks it, turns it around, and I hear him go, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
He goes, oh, sorry. Turns around and uses the other stall. So he comes back, he's in tears. He's like, dude, I kicked that motherfucking door down. There's this little guy sitting on the toilet, all fucking scared.
God. I can see him fucking doing that too. Just fucking.
At least
And that's the funny shit.
At
Like
least
you're
you
just
didn't.
sitting there peacefully taking a shit, and this fucking 6'2", 300-pound past man kicks the door down
At least you
and
didn't
locks it
fucking.
behind him.
At least you didn't drop his drawers and just blow.
Oh,
Ah.
fucking disgusting. But
Oh man, fucking Buddy Highway.
why getting the
The-
wrestling road stories there?
I was gonna
This-
say today on the Wrestling Road Story corner.
This episode's going to be called All the Shit.
All
Seems to
the
keep
shit.
it, we seem to be going back to it every time, you know. Put the puppies in the pool or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. Buddy Highways, horrible shit stories. Yeah.
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 We got. I mean, I got more the time. I took a picture of his butthole and put it on the promoter's wallpaper.
Hell yeah.
Well, so this one was in Roseburg, and the promoter left his phone in the locker room unattended, and he doesn't have a passcode on it.
That was his first mistake.
Yep. So I was just like, "Oh shit! It doesn't have a passcode on it. Who wants to pull out their dick?" So I take a picture. So Buddy Highway, of course, is first up. He's just like, "Oh, let me pull out my dick," and then like, it looks like a scared turtle because he's not circumcised all the way. So I take a picture, and I put it on the promoter's on his background. So and then this was Buddy's idea. Buddy goes, "Oh wait, let me get this one," and he just like turns around and just spreads cheek for me.
Oh.
And I'm just like, because his butthole's all purple and shit. And I take that picture. So I take that picture and I put it on his lock screen. So what he does is that like and I watched because I was like, because I'm always the guy who like I'll do the rib and then I'll sit in the corner and just be quiet, like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then the promoter picks up the phone and goes, "Oh, really, guys?" And then he swipes it, and then and that part was the funniest part to me at the time, where like, oh yeah, he has to swipe Buddy Highway's butthole, and he swipes it, and there's his dick, and then
Oh,
Lovely.
Jesus.
Lovely.
That was, like, I'm not going to mention his name, but we had this one wrestler for Blue Collar who, hanging out one time, it was, I do believe it was possibly after one of the shows, fucking a few of us would get together and have beers and shit over at another person's house, and they left their phone and their wallet and a bunch of stuff just sitting around, phones unlocked. So I'm fucking opening up the wallet with the picture of their ID and fucking slapping nutsack all right next to it, taking pictures and fucking putting it as their like wallpaper, their background, their Facebook posts, and like just all kinds of shit. And the funniest part about the whole thing, like I didn't know it was going to carry on because like I thought, yeah, somebody's going to find out quickly. They didn't know how to switch any of that shit back. And it was there for a long time. So, like, he literally fucking went and got a new phone the next day because he could not figure out how to fucking take my shit off there. And I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, how do you not know? But
And to be so repulsed by it that they have to go out and buy a new phone in order to get rid of it because they won't learn how to fix it. God. Jesus,
well, no,
man.
I get this message. I'm at work. You gotta fix this. I'm like, I'm at work, dude. Come, no, I can't get all the way over there. You need to fix this now. And I'm like, dude, Google how to fix it. He's like, I don't even want to turn on my fucking phone.
Damn. Yeah, so if you guys ever find yourselves in a wrestling locker room, keep a hold of your phone because it will get fucked with.
Dude, keep a hold of all your shit. Don't let any of your stuff.
I have a passcode on my phone, so because I can't carry it to the ring, obviously, and if I bring unopened drinks to the locker room, if they have been out of my sight for longer than 10 minutes, and they're still if I check to make sure my drinks are still unopened.
Yep.
If my open drinks have been out of my sight for more than 10 minutes, it's garbage.
Who was it that brought the bottle and then we pissed in the bottle? The alcohol bottle.
That was me.
Was it your bottle?
It was Zach.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay.
So I bring. Hold
on. No, hold on.
I want to tell the story.
No, hold on. So here's the thing. Do not bring a bottle of booze to a show that Big V is not booked on, but he is at. Because Big V does not give a fuck.
Big V's got nothing to lose.
I bring this bottle of whiskey because I am a good friend, and I know Big V is pissy because he's not booked. Darkness is booked, but Big V is not booked, so he's extra pissy about that. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna hang out at the show. We're gonna drink. I'm gonna wrestle. We're gonna drink some more.
Okay.
Fine.
Don't even say that.
No,
How many times have I brought bottles? Dude, it's not Big V being pissy. It's just we bring bottles.
We bring bottles.
But yes, I was a little pissy. So, anyways,
that is part of it. We just bring bottles to shows, and then we're just like, let's see how much we can drink before people get pissed at us. So, like, I go off, I wrestle, I work my match, I come back, and I'm undressing, and Big V's like, hey, you got any more of that whiskey left? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And I'm not even looking. I go into my bag, and I get the bottle, and I can feel. I'm like, huh, what are you doing? I hear slapping in the corner. It's weird. I heard slapping in the background. It was weird. So I reach into my bag and I grab the bottle, and I'm like, huh, it's hot. That's weird. And then I pull it out and I hand it to Big V, and I'm looking at the bottle. I was like, why does my whiskey look like piss? Oh, it is piss.
Oh, if V could only piss cold, we would have had you. Damn it.
I got a piss bottle story.
Uh-oh. This is what the Merry Christmas, everybody. You're gonna get
Merry Christmas.
Your
Merry
Christmas
show. On
show.
this podcast where we try not to talk about wrestling, we're talking about all about wrestling, because we had last week where there was tons of video game news, and outside of CD Projekt Red being in trouble, there's no news or video game entertainment news, whatever. Anyway,
all right, go for it.
So remember that show in Bend?
Yeah.
So it was back when I was tagging with JT Evans, and I don't know why, but like you remember what was it, Crazy Redneck?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was like getting on our nerves for some reason. This is me and JT Evans at the time too. So he leaves his he always came out with this huge like 1.5 liter whiskey bottle. And what he'd do is he'd pretend it was Jack Daniels, and what he'd do is he'd water down Diet Coke and pretend it was Jack Daniels, and he'd act all drunk. Ooh. And one day he was just pissing me off, so like I dumped it out and I peed in the bottle, and then I put Diet Coke in that, and like shook it up. So that show, like we're sitting by the little window that was in that club. We're sitting by the little window, like giggling like school children, because not only did we get him to take a drink, he walks over to Felipe Ruiz, who shall not be named. Do we know that name?
No, I don't. V?
Fuck it. He walked over because he was wrestling Native Assassin that week. So he turned out to be a huge pedophile.
I wasn't trying to say anything.
Fuck it. I don't give a shit. What's he gonna? He's a pedophile. What's he gonna do? Get mad at me?
Fuck that, dude.
So Redneck, like, we're laughing. I'm in fucking like my chest is cramping up. I'm laughing so hard because he walks over. He's almost takes a drink, walks over to Native, and Native takes it and takes a swig and like has this horrified look on his face, like ugh. And then Crazy Redneck like takes a drink at it after that, and you can tell he's like, oh, what the fuck is that? So not only did we get the guy who was annoying us that whole fucking trip, we got the fucking guy who turned out to be a pedophile.
That was the Ben show, 2000. It was around 2011. No, it was 2011. It was right after my sister died.
Yeah, I remember because we're all.
It was my first show back.
It wasn't a great night.
It was my first show back after a month or so. I wrestled Joe Show, got a tooth broke. But no, yeah, I remember that. A little funny thing about Native Assassin. Was it you, Zach? I don't know if it was you. It was me and somebody else. Native Assassin won the BCW television or YouTube.
Oh, when we hit his belt promo?
So fucking, it was me and you, dude. Fucking, we did the nut sack shots with the camera, and then we fucking hung it in the bathroom, and he couldn't find that shit, and he ended up getting stripped and fired.
Yep, because he lost the belt because we hid it from him.
And they found it like 5 days later, hanging in the bathroom.
Oh, shit. It's just hanging there.
Yep. Fuck. Good times, man.
Good times. Beating up pedophiles and making them drink our pee.
Drink this piss. Hey. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah. They liked it, you sick perverts, all of you.
I was kind of just going through websites to think about like more getting off the topic of wrestling.
Yeah.
Road stories. Apparently, the UK retailer has a Mario smelling perfume.
Oh man, why is I feeling like this is gonna fucking reflect badly on the Italian people? Does it smell like?
Hey, it smells like fucking gabagool.
Fucking gabagool.
Gabagool. Fuck, I don't know. Like, just browsing through it, it's called Eau de Plumber, which has you covered. But it has a Mario mustache on it. Like, I didn't do any research. This is completely something I just stumbled upon.
All right.
Oh boy, I've always wanted to smell like a plumber.
Oh, the plumber has a plumber mustache, so it's like a porn stash with a fucking plumbing smell.
With Mario, it's a porn stash with Mario's hat on it.
All right. Run right out and get that.
Deep earthy notes of toadstool balanced with high notes of peach and daisy and mid-tones of grasslands. So it smells like you smell like fucking dirt.
Awesome. Hey. Who the fuck comes up with this shit? And who the fuck buys it?
I might buy one.
All right.
I just bought mine off of Amazon.
Did you? I believe it. I don't know why, but I do.
Well, yeah, because he loves smelling like dirt.
Well, it's an improvement from the way he usually smells.
Fuck you, dude. Remember, brother. You're just up the fucking hill for me.
Yeah, that's why I'm not worried because I have a fucking hill between us.
And I got
you live uphill and you smoke 3 packs a day. Let's see who wins.
I hear you coming before I even see you.
Oh yeah, you'll hear me coming. You'll hear my engine. You'll hear my engine revving as I go through your fucking garage door.
No, you wouldn't be the first time. Damn.
He'll be like fucking Mr. Burns punching darkness.
He's like flailing his arms. Smithers, come over here. I had
Oh,
that
very
happen one time.
refreshing.
There was
All
some
right.
fucking psycho in the neighborhood, and I was at work, and my wife, she calls me, and
My
she's like,
wife.
somebody just drove into the garage. I'm like, what? And we had those aluminum panels for the garage doors. Some fucking nutcase just drove right into the garage, backed out, and drove away, and did it to like 4 other houses in the neighborhood. I was like,
Jesus.
Because
what the fuck?
Case in the place.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on, but the cops I left work and I came home, and the cops like, oh yeah, this happened to like 4 other places. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, welcome to Portland, you fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ooh. I just remembered it. Since we're recording this live on Christmas Day, Wonder Woman comes out.
yes,
Uh,
Have you guys had a chance to see it yet?
I will be going to see it in the theater experience. Remember?
Really?
Yeah, I
I'll-
I will be.
yeah, because it's $100 rental fee.
Yeah, the thing is we're gonna be at my sister-in-law's, so she's
Well,
got
no,
like 10 kids, and then
right,
we got.
you all pitch in. That's well worth it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're buying it. They have this thing where you can buy out the movie theater, and yeah, you get to see Wonder Woman. And
That's why I wish
like-
they had something like that down here, man.
yeah.
I
So-
think the McMinnville Theater does that too.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's a couple of those smaller chains or those privately owned, that do stuff like that are still trying to, make a living as best they can.
So, keeping on like entertainment news, and we try to stay away from politics and love them or hate them. Did you guys see that Barack Obama tweeted out his favorite TV shows of 2020 that he watched this year?
No.
So it's so fucking weird to me. Essentially he's just a guy from Chicago. But still, thinking about Barack Obama watching Better Call Saul or The Boys is fucking weird to me.
Did you put The Boys on his list?
So his TV shows of 2020 is Better Call Saul, The Queen's Gambit, which I've never watched, I May Destroy You, The Boys, The Good Lord Bird, The Devs, The Last Dance, Miss America, The Good Place, and City So Real.
I think I've heard of 2 or 3 shows off of the list total.
The Good Place. The Good Place was a pretty good show. Ted Danson.
Yeah, I've heard
His-
of it. But...
His favorite movie, one of his favorite movies of 2020 is called Crip Camp.
Okay.
Mostly out of that, it's a lot of movies I've never heard of, so.
Right.
See, that's the thing. It's like we deep dive into some weird shit like horror movies and weird comic properties, and I don't know half of the stuff that other people are watching.
Well, so I've been getting into watching TV series. Like it's one of those things. So we've been finding different stuff. We did Lock and Key. We did Utopia. Of course, you had The Boys and shit like that. But we found other things like a show called Shadow Hunters, which was pretty good. And we're now watching a show called Light as a Feather. It's kind of
Stiff as a board.
well, that's the premise of the thing. It's light as a feather, stiff as a board.
God, I'm so
This-
stiff.
Fucking Zach. Anyways, these girls are Halloween night. They get together and they always do something kind of creepy or scary before they go off to this party, and they end up bringing some random new girl in town around to this thing, and she's like, "Hey, let's play light as a feather, stiff as a board." And they're like, "Oh, fuck that game. It's stupid." She's like, "No, there's a little twist to it." And what she does is, before everybody lifts the person up, she tells a
Put
story
their finger in
about
them.
how she tells a story
So
about
you
how
lift
they're
them up as you get the bowling ball grip and you lift them up.
right. But she tells a story about how they're going to die, and she like goes into great details, and they do the whole thing, and the show starts getting interesting because one of the first girls ends up dying exactly how this story went. So now they're trying to figure out what this chick is. This chick's like going around and kind of like fucking up everybody's life. It's interesting so far. You find interesting shows out there when you randomly try to just dig in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that I've randomly delved into. I went back and I started watching shows that I didn't watch all of. I think I've talked about it before, like Drew Carey's show, Two and a Half Men, and it's just mindless shit that goes on in the background. I don't even really pay attention. But
because like I'm a big fan of like mafia movies and mafia shows like The Sopranos and shit. I started watching Boardwalk Empire.
I
Nice.
tried watching that one. It didn't catch with me, but
It gets better.
does it?
I
Just like Peaky Blinders, it starts off kind of slow, but it gets better.
Oh, fuck. Peaky Blinders. I haven't seen the show, but somebody fucking tried me.
Fuck.
I know what he's gonna say. Go ahead,
No,
V.
me and somebody else were having a little issue, and they tried to bring up Peaky fucking Blinders, and I'm like, dude, like, I will fuck you up, motherfucker. Talk about bringing Peaky Blinders to the ring, dude. Oh yeah, we'll off the air we'll go more into depth, but I'm like, you can bring
Was
up
he
your
gonna
fucking.
cut you with razors?
That's what he was indicating. Yeah.
That's what he was indicating.
Okay.
But this motherfucker don't know me.
Was this like? Was this when the freak show was still a thing? Because like, he could try to pull that shit, but like, there's still a bunch of giant men who will whip his ass for trying that shit.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh,
Remember
especially
who else was
him.
there? Yeah. So I just remember like somebody had just seen the show and they were feeling froggy, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay. So without bringing up names, and yes, I won't bring up names, so no editing has to be done. And if I do say the name, don't fucking edit it. I don't give a fuck. So I ended up doing a fucking charity show for NWWA. NWWA gets a hold of me and asked me if I would do this charity show. And I said, why the fuck not? They were there when my fucking sister, after my niece got beat and my sister was fucking, half dead. They fucking threw a charity show for her and raised quite a bit of money. And not just money, but like fucking gifts and shit like that. So they asked me, hey, are you willing to do this? And I'm like, why not? And you know about this, Zach, because I asked permission to sell shit at the show.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, there was a certain individual who had a fucking issue with it. There was a certain individual that when I came back and people were asking me how the show was, and I said, actually, it was fucking really amazing. And like my experience in that locker room from the last time I was there was way different, and how they ran things. It was awesome, and I had a good time. I wasn't rubbing anything in anybody's face. I was just talking about the experience. Well, this motherfucker had an issue and started talking about fucking Peaky Blinders. And I was like, bring it on, motherfucker. Dude, I'm the guy that got beat down by 3 individuals with a fire poker and a metal wand and still walked away to talk about it.
But
I'm
that's
like,
legit. That's not storyline.
No, that's our storyline,
jumped-
dude. I got
Big G
pictures
was
that
on the ass end of an ass kicking, and he fucking got up and walked away. It was
So,
horrible looking.
everybody calls me Sloth, like from the Goonies. Well, after that experience, I looked like Sloth. But I still walked away. So,
I mean, you still kind of do.
fuck you, dude. So you say my mom ugly too?
I don't know. I've never met the woman.
Well, then don't talk shit about her.
I imagine
wait,
it's,
what?
I'd imagine it's you with but with like bigger boobs.
God.
And less hair, but less facial hair, but Anyways.
I was like, wow, your mom's going bald.
Fuck
Wow, looks
you.
fucking like Ma Fratelli. You ever see Throw Mama from the Train?
Oh yeah.
Owen, you
Best
clumsy
movie that
poops.
woman's ever done. Owen.
Owen.
I won't lie. I often use "you clumsy poop" in my daily.
But yeah, I had somebody I had somebody threaten me with Peaky Blinders, and the funny thing is, they probably would have never known what the fuck Peaky Blinders was if they didn't watch the fucking show. So.
Holy shit! I had a dream that Louis Armstrong was trying to kill me. I'm watching that after this. That was such a great movie.
Oh fuck!
I remember that was like the only other thing I remember Anne Ramsey being in, other than the fucking Goonies.
Oh my god! I think that's the only other movie she did.
I think she was like a star from the like early days, and then like she kind of became that, and I was like, oh, okay.
Dude, I
kind of want to see what she looks like in the early days.
I gotta see if I can find it. We gotta see if we can post this on the fucking somewhere on like our podcast website or whatever. But we took a trip to the fucking coast where like Goonies was shot and shit, and they have that museum, and you can actually sit in like the car and that scene where they're driving and like reenact it. Well, their rules are don't cuss, don't do this, don't do that. And my kid, who at the time was like fucking 5 or 6, like dropped the biggest F-bomb ever, like in the middle of this whole thing, and they actually fucking saved it and let us like keep it. It was like, oh my god, we're like, oh, and you hear it too before it cuts off. It's like they're doing their little lines, they're reading the thing, and all of a sudden he's like, blah 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 blah, fuck. And it's like we're like, oh my god, set, and then it like goes off. It's like,
oh fuck.
Mama Fratelli.
Mama Fratelli.
I gotta watch the Goonies again.
It's not in.
I'm watching Throw Mama from the Train.
When I was in first grade, Mr. fucking Finance. Yeah, fucking chunk.
No, Throw Mama from the Train, because anything with Danny DeVito in it is fucking gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. DeVito.
Like,
including Batman Returns.
Especially Batman Returns. That was the role crafted for Danny DeVito.
Right?
Yep.
I'm the Penguin. I'm gonna fucking bite this guy's nose off and eat raw fish, man. Just because I'm such a huge It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan, and that show goes from good to legendary when Danny DeVito gets on the show.
Yeah, see, he didn't come in until like a few seasons in, didn't he?
It was season 2.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he came in.
Well,
that
he's
soon.
in. He was only supposed to guest star, and then like he found out his kid was a huge fan of the show, so he was just like, "Man, I'm gonna fucking stay on this show."
Yep.
But,
It's just taking up residency.
And isn't Danny DeVito and like Rita Perlman like fucking together?
I think they were. I don't remember if they got. I thought I heard they got divorced, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. When two fucking short fucking troll-looking people get together, it's just the greatest thing ever.
My favorite is like the creators of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia were like, we're all like Danny DeVito says yes to everything, so we're always trying to say something he'll say no to. And there's the point where like they have him clean shaven, head, eyebrows all gone, and just covering him in hand sanitizer, and he's just crawling around the floor like a slug man.
Jesus.
We have to do a song about how we don't diddle kids. Frank, nothing makes you think about that you're diddling kids faster than sing a song about how you don't diddle kids.
I was just completely lost because I don't know. I don't know this.
You gotta watch.
show.
So anybody listening to this, if you have never watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the episodes that will get you hooked, Frank's Little Beauties, Frank's Pretty Woman, where he tries to marry a hooker, and then probably Charlie McDennis is one of the good ones.
It's the one where they become wrestlers.
There's the gang wrestles for the troops, which Roddy Piper is in actually,
Oh, nice.
which is a good one. Which, like, if you've ever met Roddy Piper or you know Roddy Piper, I don't think he's playing a character. I think he wandered on set and they're just like, yeah, let's just roll with it.
It's like, oh, look who showed up here in wrestling, and he's here.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, the maniac doesn't wrestle in the ring much anymore, but he still wrestles with the squirrels in his head that makes him do things.
Okay.
It's like, oh, that's Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper. What's your favorite Roddy Piper movie?
Well, what the fuck?
Did you just fucking let one rip? Oh my god. Merry Christmas.
That would be my favorite Roddy Piper movie.
Which one?
The sound Big V made.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, it doesn't get much better than They Live.
Well, yeah.
There's the weird frog one.
Hell Comes to Frog
Hell
Town?
Comes to Frogtown.
Hell Comes to Frog Town.
Yeah.
That was
Slam.
good, but it wasn't. I don't think it was anywhere as good as They Live.
Yeah, They Live
Body
is probably
Slam.
one of the best. One of my
I never saw Body Slam.
my little gems that he did that nobody's ever heard of is called Sci Fighters.
Yeah.
That one's pretty good. I like that one.
So here's a little interesting. I wouldn't say it's not Roddy. Well, so do we all know when Roddy Piper passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
What?
Like the actual date, or do we remember when we heard it? What are you talking about?
So you want to know how I heard about Roddy Piper passing?
Okay, how?
I was up in the trauma unit after I got jumped by 3 guys. Roddy Piper passed away the same day I got jumped. July 31st, 2015.
No, dude.
So I'm up in a fucking trauma unit with my fucking eye, like fucking the brow like split wide open, fucking eyes swollen the size of a fucking softball, fucking looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame with like fucking my finger hanging out of the skin and shit. Like it's like I had some amazing people show up and they found me and they're like, dude, you okay? And then they're like, dude, not to bring anything else horrible, like, but Roddy Piper passed away. I'm like, what the fuck? So, like, I'm more concerned about Piper passing away than my fucking left fucking ring finger hanging out of the fucking skin. You know? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why didn't nobody tell me this? And the doctors are like, are you really more concerned about that than your fucking face falling apart? I'm like, yeah.
Of course. What the hell?
Did I ever tell you the story about when I accidentally cold shouldered him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went over that story on the show one time.
Did I?
It's just
Okay,
like,
good.
oh man. Hey, I'm Rod. You're like, oh, how's it going?
Hey,
And you
I'm
just
Rod.
walked
Oh, cool,
away.
Rod.
He's like, that guy's an asshole. You have no idea.
Don't leave your
Damn.
car keys around him.
Fucking Paul. Where's my car?
Oh, fuck. I miss Pa so much.
Yeah.
So do I. Dude, we gotta like fucking, you know, I know we all have our little issues with this COVID shit, but we need to just get a select few of us together and get like a fucking, find someplace that's open enough where we don't have to like sit shoulder to shoulder and like fucking get
Yeah.
together and just like fucking,
Let's go just bombard Pa's place.
Just, what the hell are you guys doing here? Hey, Paul! No,
Yeah.
get
What
out
the
of here!
fuck? Hey, Pa, we're getting drunk here. What the fuck?
Get out of my yard! Dang.
I love.
Yes.
I was trying to think. I was trying to remember the story. Actually, you got me while I'm trying to like. The wheel's turning, but the hamster's dead. They did a show. I think it was actually in Washington or Utah, and Pa did like a live stream or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to, like, I just remember this one part where like the whole live stream is like an hour and a half of just zoomed in on Pa's face. Talking shit to Buddy Highway and JB Moonshine. And he's just sitting there because he's got no teeth. He's just sitting there with his tongue. I was like, I need more beer. JB, get me another beer.
Oh my god, they got him fucking liquored up to do a podcast.
And he's just like breathing hard and shit.
That
Wow.
would be gold to see that.
That'd be a couple years ago. You have to dig.
Interesting. So yeah, you want to get back on any kind of topic, or are we just fucking shooting the shit?
We're just shooting the shit right now. This is because it's been like we had last week that had all the news, and now we have another week where there's none of the news.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, the news that I saw, I'm excited for coming to America.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. I'm a little confused on how he finds out he has a kid or something. Like,
yeah.
Fuck that. I'm confused. I'm confused about how the fucking old guys in the barbershop are still alive.
okay, that was the other thing. When I watched the trailer, I'm like, how the fuck? These guys should be dead, but they're all still.
These guys are just immortal deities who just hang out in this barbershop.
But I think it's kind of cool because here's the thing. Like, when I was younger, Eddie Murphy was everywhere. Like, Eddie Murphy was everything. Like,
yes,
you knew what Eddie Murphy was. Like, I haven't, like, fucking, what, a good fucking 2-3 decades haven't fucking heard anything about Eddie Murphy. Like, I think the last thing I heard about him was, he did The Haunted Mansion or something, and that was like, what, 20 years ago?
He's done decent shit. I saw Dolomite. I saw that. That's probably the most recent thing I've seen him in. My Name is Dolomite.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like Eddie Murphy just kind of poof. I mean, fucking Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, The Golden Child, fucking everything. And then he just kind of, boom, vanished. And, you know, one of my favorite movies from Eddie Murphy was Coming to America. The movie was fucking brilliant. It was great. And all of a sudden, after God knows how long, they're coming out with a second one and bringing back Arsenio Hall, and they're reprising all the. I mean, that was one of the first times you saw one actor play multiple characters.
Yeah, that was like where he started doing that, and then he did Nutty Professor and all that stuff.
Right, and then other movies.
It stopped being funny in fucking Norbit, though.
Yeah, Norbit was where it hit the fucking wall.
It's like, okay, we get it.
But it was like the first time. It was like the first time you saw one actor play multiple characters in a movie, and then other movies started following along with that. And it was like, this is kind of cool, you know? But,
Coming to America holds a special place in my heart for being the first movie I ever watched that had boobies in it.
That was your first movie?
That was my first movie, and I saw it had boobies.
Fuck, I think I seen Debbie Does Dallas or something like that.
What the fuck was my first movie?
I don't know. What was it? The royal penis is clean. That's all I remember.
Probably Porky's.
Porky's?
Porky's would be, yeah. Fuck it, Porky's.
Porky's was great because
Hold
we saw
on.
boobies and then full bush.
Hold on. Here's Zach, who's like yelling at us for being like old people, but Porky's was way before your time, bro.
Yeah, I lived with my grandma who owned a bunch of old movies.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
Who? I want to check out what this movie Porky's is all about.
I was thinking, because in my young mind, it was like, oh, Porky's Porky Pig. Oh, cool. That's not what that was.
Oh, so you watched it way early in life. Jesus. Oh, wow. No wonder you are the way that you are. That's insane.
I started masturbating early, too.
Was that the one that had, the fuck's her name? The Howler?
Yes, that's exactly the scene that I discovered how to masturbate.
There you go, yeah. There you go.
I would have to say one of my first, and I don't know, it wasn't even naked. Phoebe Cates, Fast Time at Ridgemont High.
Yep, that's a classic.
Oh fuck!
I just watched Gremlins today too, which helped.
Well, I was going to say it was really rough to watch Gremlins and like I'm like
One hand.
yeah. I'm like fucking Phoebe Cates. I'm like holy fuck.
Yeah, that fuck. I still jerk off to that.
It's much like Judge Reinhold, then.
It's gotten to the point where I've watched so much porn to where I'm just jerking off to side boob now. I've come full circle to just side boob.
You take what you can get, damn it.
I think I see a nip.
Yeah.
I see part of an areola.
It's cold, I can tell. Yeah.
And just mess everywhere.
Oh.
All right, I just realized I got the new title for the show.
Uh-oh. You wanna
Just
name
mess
one
everywhere?
Just name the show. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay.
This whole show. No, I love this show. This show has been a complete roller coaster the whole time.
Yeah, we're just fucking mindlessly going on.
We go from entertainment news to variety show. It's cool.
Well, you know.
It's the
Depends
Dark
on
Asylum.
how many drinks Zach and V have had today.
Hey, the Dark Asylum is all about whatever.
Yeah, it's all about that whatever.
When
We try to keep it on a certain topic, but when the world decides to fucking shit on us, we have to improvise.
Yeah. So yeah, they've got an hour and 20 minutes of us just shooting this shit for nothing.
yeah, like it. Why not?
So,
I mean, we could go another hour and 20 minutes about jerking off.
well, alone, just an hour and 20 minutes on just that. But so we want to get into a couple of our staples of the show and then get the hell out of here. Let these people enjoy their Christmas.
Well, so like I talked about before the show, we should let's get our staples out of the show out of the way. So, and then we'll leave Mandalorian talk after all the good stuff, and then we'll have Mando talk. So anybody who hasn't watched the show yet, I know who you are. Can just turn it off after all the good stuff, because it'll be a couple minutes of us just going, "Woo!"
Yeah. All right. Well, then on that note, we'll comic book club.
Comic book club.
All right. So
That was a good one this week.
yeah, with the new Judge Dredd, I was kind of leery about how IDW would treat it, but they had a couple good stories come out there. They've already stopped the run and everything, so I think they did 30 issues of the regular series, and then they had all these offshoot series and minis and stuff like that. But I think this one was probably the best story to read to get an overall general view on Judge Dredd. Like if someone hadn't read Judge Dredd before, I'd hand them this and be like, here, this is basically what it is.
And I would have to agree. I mean, I didn't think of
Yeah.
it that way, but I haven't read much of Judge Dredd, and I mean, I've liked what I've read, but with this book, I was like, holy shit, dude! Like,
Yeah.
like if you didn't know what was going on and you were handed this book, you'd get hooked.
Oh yeah. My like V, my Judge Dredd experience is kind of limited. Like it wasn't until recently when like I started just buying the Judge Dredd case files, which are just which are just the everything in chronological order.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of weird to read Judge Dredd in the fucking 70s when he's just like, "Zounds, evildoer! I'm gonna shoot you in the face." Or blast you in the face, actually.
It's interesting because 2000 AD
But
was like a periodical. It
I've
still is.
yeah, I've read 2000 AD. I've read Judge Dredd America.
That's another good one.
That's a very good one. And then this one, and yeah, it was fucking great.
Yeah, I've been reading Judge Dredd for a long time. It's funny enough, the really terrible Judge Dredd movie from Sylvester Stallone is what got me started
on.
with Judge Dredd.
I almost fought you right there.
Oh, okay.
That is a fucking great movie.
See, the
And
thing
that's
with
gonna be the movie that when all this bullshit's over, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna do our first movie commentary on
what, Judge Dredd or Dredd?
Judge Dredd, the
Oh,
Sylvester Stallone movie.
all right. I mean, if
The
you want
only
to,
real, the only real issue I have with Judge Dredd, this Stallone movie, is how they're trying to get over that stupid fucking catchphrase where every 20 seconds he's like, "I knew
Oh
you'd
yeah,
say that."
oh yeah, I knew you'd say that
No, no,
was
no.
worse than I Am the Law.
No, "I am the law" is a good one. "I knew you'd say that" is
Yeah,
a fucking horrible, because they even bring it around towards the end where he like doesn't he tell the girl who's like, I love you or something, and she says, "I love you too," and he goes, "I knew you'd say that."
yeah, that was the very end.
Well, speaking of favorite lines, my favorite line in the comic book was they're sitting there and he's like pointing out where like people should be like snipers and shit, and he's like this fucking Rico Suave looking motherfucker's like, "Where are you two going to be?" And he's like, "Wherever the most killing needs to be."
Yep.
I was like, "Oh fuck me, that's awesome."
Yeah.
That's why Carl Urban's the closest we're gonna get to a live action Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I mean that movie was great. As far as
It
the
was.
comics and stuff like that, it is pretty much like the most accurate you're gonna get.
Because
But-
like you V was talking about, just said about how lame the "I am the law" line was. Carl Urban made it badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to take Carl Urban's Dredd and put it in Sylvester Stallone's Dredd universe.
No.
I think well, because like the futuristic aspect of the Judge Dredd with Stallone, like they had the ABC robots, they had all that, they had the law masters and stuff like that. They could fly, which
Yeah.
was a little crazy, but I think that was more comic accurate. While I think Carl Urban's Dredd was more comic accurate, and if they just kind of swapped them around or took elements, they could have had the perfect, Dredd verse.
Uh-huh.
The other thing was like in the Judge Dredd movie, Stallone movie, they're all like in that first, especially in that first scene, we're like, "Oh, it's Judge Dredd, he's so awesome." We're in Dredd, the Carl Urban movie, they're all equally badass.
Yeah, the judges.
Yeah, the judges are all equally badass, where Judge Dredd is a little tiny bit more badass.
Yeah. Now they
And it's the
got a
same in
lot
the
of
comic
stuff.
books. Yeah, it's the same in the comic books where they're all like badasses, but like Judge Dredd is just that little extra badass.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's that whole like 10-minute sequence where like the rookie of the opening scene is just like, "Oh my god, it's Judge Dredd," and he just starts cranking off on film. And I gotta look badass for Judge Dredd. And he gets himself killed.
Right.
I don't know. Judge Dredd could have used 100% less Rob Schneider, and I would have been happy. But other than that,
Most movies could use 100% less Rob Schneider and be okay.
unless he's popping up saying "You can do it," I don't give a fuck. Okay. Unless it's Deuce
even that got
Bigelow,
old.
but Deuce Bigelow was pretty good. The first one.
The first one, yeah.
The snails, no, the ones at the bottom. Yeah. Fucking Deuce Bigelow. Anyway, back to the comic. So, yeah, I mean, that was, like I said, that was probably one of the series that you could just hand to somebody and go, this is what Dredd's about. So, I'm glad you guys liked it. And I was really up on Cyberpunk, so I figured it was kind of hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, I was really pleased. Like I said, my Judge Dredd experience has been very, very minimal. But I didn't know what I was going to get into. I'm like, okay, really what I know is from 2 movies, okay? And I took what you talked before. You brought this up before Darkness, that Sylvester Stallone's universe, but with Carl Urban's Dredd, putting it together.
Like a more brightly colorful,
Yeah.
kind of cheesy.
The Dread seemed more of like a post-apocalyptic, almost kind of like, what the fuck am I trying to say? Mad Max-ish, Road Warrior-ish kind of future. And like Judge Dredd seemed more cyberpunk and almost Blade Runner-ish to me. So
Was the Long Walk ever a plot device in the comics?
yes.
Okay.
And so is the Cursed Earth, and so is there's a bunch of
I
stuff
knew
that
the
like
Cursed Earth.
Rico.
Like I've read the what are they? The Death Judges?
Yeah, the Dark Judges.
The Dark Judges, yeah.
Yeah, so you
I've
got
read that arc.
that one's good too. I like that one, and it would be interesting to see how they could adapt that to a film. I have no idea, but it would be
it'd be so
awesome to
good.
see. Yeah, there's actually a comic book version of the Dark Judges story set in the Carl Urban Dredd universe, which is weird as shit. But there's a couple of them. They have a Mama prequel. They have a couple of different ones that you'd probably like.
I
So
gotta find that.
yeah, there's one called Urban Warfare. It's called based off of Carl Urban. So
Because
it's kinda funny.
I have a huge boner crush on Lena Headley too.
What's the first thing you remember her from?
A fucking Game of Thrones?
Really? Okay. So a lot of
I
people
didn't know who
started
she
with
was.
300, and then they're like playing
Oh,
the
I
same
forgot
thing.
she was in 300.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was her.
Oh,
She was in 300, and like Game of Thrones, it was kind of cool because Game of Thrones, she was like broke living in her car.
Really? Oh man.
Oh yeah, that first season she was broke living in her car, and then because like she had a nasty divorce, and her husband took most of the shit.
Oh, okay.
And then
That
that first
sucks.
season of Game of Thrones, she's like homeless, and by the end of it, she has her $6 million mansion and shit. Which is another funny story because her and Jerome Flynn, who played Braun, used to date, and they had a nasty divorce, and they've never shared a scene, even though Braun and Cersei in the books have had a couple scenes together.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. How they had like in real life been in a relationship, and then they're like, "No, we're not working together." So they had to figure it out.
They're in one scene together, and knowing what you know about that, it is, even though it's just like Cersei is just walking past Braun, that's all it is. Even knowing the history between them is awkward as fuck to watch.
And they were actually there on scene together. It wasn't like Heat where De Niro and Pacino weren't even in the same scene, but they were.
Yeah, because De Niro and Pacino hate each other. Nobody knows that.
She was Sarah Connor too. I remember that. And I was like, "Who's this playing Sarah Connor?"
No. It wasn't her. It was whoever the fuck plays Daenerys.
No. Sarah Connor, the TV show.
She played in that?
She was Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Really? I didn't know that.
Dude, you gotta go back and start watching some of that shit.
Well, I'm Googling right now.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay. Fucking nerd.
Okay, while he's Googling that, it popped in my head. My other favorite fucking little saying in that fucking comic book was when Dredd's walking by with the fucking grenade clip, and he's like,
Fuck up.
still undefeated in tetherball.
Yeah.
There's some good shit in that one. I liked it. If you want to further your Judge Dredd reading, the Apocalypse War is fucking awesome. It's long, but it brings like all the major characters from 2000 AD into like this world-changing event, which is pretty cool.
Holy shit, she was in The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay. She plays Evelyn in the new He-Man. I don't know. That's kind of cool.
Oh, she was in Fighting with My Family. I knew that one.
She plays what? Evelyn?
Evelyn in the new He-Man.
What, voice?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
So she'll be doing, so.
Oh, she was in Dishonored? I didn't know that.
It's just going through all of her fucking
I am.
her
Oh, here it
IMDb.
is. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Have a couple more. Yeah. Woo.
I'm about 4 deep, so fuck you.
If I didn't have to
Shit's
run the
really
fucking
fun.
recorder, man, I'd be fucking drinking too.
There's one on her thing that just says whore.
Mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 300 Rise of the Empire, The Purge, Terminator, the Sarah Connor.
Yeah, I've never seen
Dredd.
half the shit besides 300. Dredd. Mama.
Fighting with my family. Oh, she was. Oh yeah.
Dude,
I
we
still
gotta
haven't
talk about
watched
how
that.
bullshit Fighting with My Family is.
I haven't watched it yet. I got
Dude,
it, but I
is-
haven't watched
like,
it.
everybody was talking about how awesome it was because, oh my god, it's a movie about Paige and she's so beautiful. First of all, she's not. Second of all, that whole movie is bullshit.
The only
Because
time
they're
she
just
was
like-
beautiful. The only time she was beautiful was when she was bent over and fucking Xavier Woods was drilling it.
Dude, I hated that. I hated that so much.
God.
Not because, like, I had a huge boner crush on Paige. I've never thought Paige was hot. But because I've never wanted to see Xavier Woods lay pipe.
Up, down, down.
Right.
Down, down. Oh my god. Yeah.
There was the promo that the New Day shot, like, a couple weeks after that, because smartly they kept him off camera for that. But, like, where they're just standing there awkward. And they're like, so we need to talk about what's happening on the internet right now. And then they go off into something completely different.
Oh yeah, good stuff. You know what? To
Anyway,
me, Paige is just a
because,
poor
like-
man's Daphne. That's all.
Yes!
Oh yeah,
Holy shit, yes.
I love Daphne.
First of all,
Oh,
Fighting with
God.
My Family is bullshit because, like, they're showing they're showing how they fell in love with wrestling and all this shit. And it's in the 90s where The Rock is holding the WWF title.
Yeah, that should tell you right
And-
there.
And she's got a cardboard cutout of the Divas belt, a stupid fucking butterfly one.
Yeah.
So there's inconsistency number one. Number two, apparently Vince Vaughn is supposed to be playing Mick Foley or some shit.
Wasn't he supposed to be Hugh Morris?
I was going to say, I thought it was
or
Hugh Morris.
No, I think it's Mick Foley because, like, he's talking about how beaten up and broken down he is. And The Rock's just like, hey, thanks for taking all those chair shots from me.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't seen it, so I didn't know that was a scene in there.
Like, the other thing that really bugged me is, like, it'd be so much more interesting if they stuck with the story of Paige, who isn't the stereotypical, like, big boob, blonde, tan WWF model or WWE model at the time. Because at the time, there were, like, all the women looked the same. There's the Kelly Kellys, the Dawn Maries. They all had huge tits. They're all blonde. They're all incredibly beautiful.
Your Lita's, Trish Stratus.
Yeah, no, well, Lita and Trish Stratus could wrestle. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're talking about like Terry and the cat and
Well,
Sable.
no, we're
and,
talking about after Lita and Trish Stratus.
Oh yeah, that weird
Yeah.
That
time
dark
for
period
women's
where
wrestling.
literally those were the bathroom break matches.
Yeah,
But like that was a so much more interesting story where like Paige was the mold breaker at the time to where like she wasn't blonde, she didn't have huge tits, she wasn't good looking, she was a good wrestler
yeah,
and like overcame all that. But no, the movie focused on where she had some fucking stupid like social anxiety where she couldn't cut promos.
yeah.
Right.
I should probably watch it so I have a frame of reference. But
It's overwhelmingly okay.
one of those movies.
It was
Yeah.
one of those movies that finally it was free and it was like I was like hungover and couldn't really move and it was turned on and the controller was
like,
across the room. So
If
I
you know
ended up
anything
watching
about
it.
wrestling, if you know anything about wrestling and wrestling history, you're gonna be like, nope, that's wrong. Well, that's wrong. No, that's wrong.
Yeah, the realest wrestling movie of all time. It's fucking Beyond the Mat.
No, the realest. I will die on this hill. The realest movie of all time is Ready to Rumble.
The poop truck. We brought it back to poop. Now we can quit.
Show's over. Good
That's
night.
it. Full circle of poop. We're done. We Tarantino that shit. All right.
Oh man. You think we script this shit out? No, this was all ad-lib. We are podcasting professionals.
Booyah!
There you go.
I think we found the title for the show.
The full circle of poop.
Full circle of poop.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right, so we started this jaunt with the comic book club, so we got through
Yes.
that.
Judge Dredd is awesome.
Yeah, I fucking
It is
love
me.
Judge Dredd.
It
It is
is
you.
Zach.
All right.
Judge Dredd is always awesome. So, my last turn, I had two decisions in my head that I was fighting with. So this one is the other one that I was fighting with. My pick for comic book club is nobody's drum rolling.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Baby Teeth by Image
Baby
Comics.
teeth.
Have you read it already?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I remember you saying it though. That's why I was like, oh, that's right, Baby Teeth. Okay.
I didn't. So Baby Teeth is an interesting. It's. I think it's pretty good. I didn't know anything about it until I saw a variant cover of it on one of my comic book auctions, and I didn't. I got outbid for it,
Son of a bitch.
so I didn't get it.
I hate
I
when
was
that
not happy.
happens.
Yeah. But
It's by Image,
it is by Image Baby Teeth, Volume
Baby
1.
teeth.
Volume 1. All right.
It's a teenage mother finds out her baby's the Antichrist, and now she has to deal with that.
All right. Well, you know.
So,
Baby
coming off Comic Book Club,
Teeth.
anybody
Now it's time.
who
It's no.
now
go
it is,
ahead.
now it is time. Anybody who that's your homework for this week is Baby Teeth, so you can follow along with the show. Anybody who has not watched the Mandalorian season finale at this time, the Asylum is closed off to you. Good night. Fuck you. Merry Christmas. We are going into Mando talk. This is going to be a very spoiler heavy discussion. So, if you have not watched the Mandalorian season finale, good night and Merry Christmas. I love you.
Merry
thank you
Christmas,
for,
Hakuna
listening to.
Matata. Get the fuck out of
Hakuna
here
Matata.
because we got to speak.
All right.
Jesus, you guys. All right. I don't know why you all are so fucking excited about Bib Fortuna's return, but all right.
Oh, that's you motherfucker. There's still people listening.
No, that we gave them that time. What the hell?
So, are you talking about his return and his exit?
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now we fucked it up for everybody. Great job there, V.
Now we fucked it. Anyway, so 3, 2, 1. Luke Skywalker's back.
Holy fuck!
Okay, we took our guesses last show, and we were thinking, I threw out Ezra, you threw out the one from the video game. We all had our different,
Yes.
Who the fuck would have taken Luke? I mean, honestly.
Who the fuck? Oh my god! And it was so perfect. I will fight to the death. I will fight anybody in the fucking street. That scene with Luke Skywalker did for Luke Skywalker what the fucking hallway scene in Rogue One did for Darth Vader.
Yeah, it was so funny. We're watching it, my life, and I see this X-wing. I'm like, what? I was like, no, they're not gonna. It's probably like those guys from the previous episodes where they let Mando go. Those guys.
Yeah.
And then as the scene continues, I'm like, no fucking way. And my wife's like, what? I was like, that's Luke. Because I could see one gloved hand, one ungloved hand. I was like, no fucking way that can be Luke. And she's like, what? I was like, there's no fucking way they're using Luke. As sure as shit, I fucking marked out like a fucking 8-year-old.
Dude, I legitimately had tears in my eyes. So I want to talk like you. I want to talk about my process where the single X-wing's coming? Great. I was thinking it was the fat Asian guy. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Is he a secret Jedi and I didn't know about it? No, but as soon as Grogu's ears perk up, I'm like, wait a minute. No fucking way. And then you see him walking down because he's the only Jedi who had that very distinctive robe.
Yeah.
And my wife, she's just like, what are you freaking about? I go, I think it's Luke. Is it Luke? And then they have him, and she thought it was Ahsoka Tano, and then they show him cutting through those dark troopers like they were fucking butter. That was a beautiful scene.
And then that fucking that they distinctly show you that one gloved hand. And
that one gloved hand holding a green lightsaber.
I
pop out of my fucking chair. Holy fuck! It's Luke! It's Luke!
I was like, no fucking way.
The way he's
and then he lifts the hood, and somebody we've never heard about before.
How fucked up would that have been?
I was honestly fully prepared for that one. For that,
it's Mr.
Thing, but
it's Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
but
that
no,
was just that was the most surprising fucking ending and satisfying fucking.
It sealed it for me. It sealed it for me that it was Luke when he fucking crushed that dark trooper. It
sealed it for me for Luke when I saw the gloved hand and the green lightsaber.
Well, yeah. I mean, I knew it right there, but it was definitely 100% no turning back, not second guessing.
In your defense, that was the fucking coolest scene where he just crushes that fucker.
Yeah. And notwithstanding, I mean, that shit was fucking awesome. The Mandalorian fight, I mean, when he's fighting one of them was a great fight scene as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome to see.
Seeing Boba Fett slap the shit out of Sasha Banks was the highlight for my day.
So, fucking tornado DDT.
Pause a second.
Pause a second. What?
Let me ask this, because we were on the whole Luke thing. What was your opinion on how they, how the CG was?
So I watched it, and it was passable, and I was happy with it. Yeah. I actually, later on, they did a deep fakes on YouTube, and it actually looks better on YouTube with somebody else doing it, other than the mouth. They got the eyes a little bit better. I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it to you. But that one was, I think, better.
I wasn't disappointed.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, that's what a lot of going people around too. Yeah,
I wasn't disappointed with it. It was fine to me. I liked it. I'm not saying it was the greatest thing in the world, but it was. I'm glad I got to see. It was just like when they did Princess Leia. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it was still trying to give as much props and respect to the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it could have been better, but the fact that Mark Hamill was the one that did it was great. And, it, like I said, nobody was fucking expecting Luke. And we had talked about it even way back when in the beginning of the season, how Luke had signed away his rights, or Mark Hamill had signed away his rights. And
His body rights.
yeah, it was like we dropped hints on our own shit that led
Without
up
even
to
knowing
it
it.
without even know. Yeah, so it was.
Here's what I love. Mark Hamill's fucking tweet. Did anything good happen on the Mandalorian this week?
Fucking Luke.
And then so there's this whole besides the Luke coming back thing, there's this whole roller coaster of emotions to where happy cry Luke's there, happy or sad cry that Grogu and Mando have to split up, happy cry that fucking R2D2 fucking makes an appearance.
Yeah. They were just toying with our emotions. It was a roller coaster.
That last fucking 20 minutes, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was like, happy cry, sad cry, happy cry, sad cry, like a fucking teenage schoolgirl who got dumped on prom night.
Well, no, here's my thing. Here's my prediction. Because we never heard of Grogu through any of, even when they were doing flashbacks from, what Luke was doing between all this other shit. You know what? I guarantee Grogu's kicked out before any training happens.
No.
Because this little motherfucker's going to be taking pieces off of fucking R2D2.
No, what happens is, and spoilers for the future, everybody.
It's a joke, like how fucking Grogu was taking the fucking ball off the ship. He's going to be taking pieces off of R2D2.
That was my favorite thing, because everybody's like, oh, R2D2 is the one who saved Grogu and he remembers. No, I think R2 remembers the last little short green motherfucker who whipped his ass with a stick and was freaking out.
Lifted his ass up in the air.
Yeah.
No, but spoilers for the future, guys. Grogu gets killed by Kylo Ren.
No.
Yes, because Luke was teaching all of the Jedi, and Kylo Ren killed them all. So
my prediction, my official prediction, is there's going to be a time jump, and it's going to be Mando and Bo-Katan trying to take back Mandalore, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole season will be that, and then the last episode of the season, Mando will get a distress call from Luke's Jedi temple that it's been destroyed, but Grogu will still survive somehow, because Disney is not gonna lose their biggest fucking cash cow since fucking Mickey Mouse.
yeah, they're gonna go back to that well a few times. So,
Yes.
There's a couple other things to discuss about this. Now we got this whole.
Besides that part.
Yeah, we got this
marking out
whole
over
thing
Luke done.
about the Darksaber, and now what the fuck's gonna happen with that? So you got Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. There you go. The Mandalorian is the official, I guess, heir to the Mandalorian Empire now. So that's interesting because he won the Darksaber off of Moff Gideon. So there's that hanging in the balance, and then there's the whole post-credit scene.
Oh, the Book of Fett.
Yeah, someone's pissing right now. I think it's Zach. Let's just listen to Zach piss right now. Merry Christmas, everybody. We give you Zach pissing.
It's Zach's Yule log.
He's dropping a Yule log on you. But don't say anything.
What happened?
Nothing. Why? Oh, we were just talking about how they're gonna.
I was in the, hold on, no, fuck you. I was in the bathroom, which is like 2 feet away from where I record, and I hear "Merry Christmas, everybody." Zach pissing. I thought you were rambling off for a short while, so I could sneak away because I am 4 beers deep, and I thought I could sneak away and have a piss.
Fucking caught your ass pissing
again.
Oh
You're fucking. You may be younger than us, but your fucking bladder is older than both of us put together.
I have the bladder of a 12-year-old Asian girl.
Damn. All right, so we're saying.
Did you ask me something and I didn't fucking respond?
And then all we hear is like fucking tinkling water running in the background. I was like, he's fucking pissing right now, isn't he?
Yeah, no,
Did that happen?
we were talking about Boba Fett, and all of a sudden, Darkness is like, so did you see the end credits? I'm like, yeah, the Book of Fett. He's like, yeah, is Zach pissing?
For the love of God, you act like a fucking professional.
So for a peek behind the curtain, I podcast in my walk-in closet where I have the closet and the bathroom where you got to walk past the closet to go to the bathroom. Okay, I put up a blanket so like it creates more of a sound barrier. Well, the blanket fell down. I was like, oh well, this won't fucking create too much of a problem. Because every other time it doesn't. But this time it does. Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett.
So okay, no, we were talking about first of all the Darksaber. Now there's going to be a power struggle between Mandalorian and I forget her fucking name now. Damn it, I got brain fart.
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. There you go. And then the whole
by the
setup
way,
for. No, go ahead.
Was it funny to anybody else that like Pedro Pascal kind of redeemed himself by whipping ass with a spear?
Yeah, that was cool to see. But and then I got confused because they didn't announce the Boba Fett show, so I was thinking that the next season of The Mandalorian was going to be Boba Fett because it said coming in, and I was like, oh shit, so they're getting rid of the whole Baby Yoda storyline's over with. They're going to switch over to Mandalorian being Boba Fett.
Gabagool.
Gabagool. But evidently that's not the case. They waited so they didn't spoil the show, and Boba Fett's getting his own show based off of what we saw in the stinger in The Mandalorian.
Out of any fucking Star Wars character, he's the one who deserves his own show because he's had this huge mythology built around him, just built off 2 appearances in the movies, and he's like, oh, he's the most badass character, he's the coolest character, and he doesn't do anything in the movies, but now like he's getting this redemption arc almost.
Yeah, he went over and basically took over the underworld, the criminal underworld of Star Wars. He's the new fucking Don, basically.
Yeah.
Just went up and bitch slapped Don Corleone.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, exactly. Just like you said, if he just walked up and spit in Don Corleone's face and then shot him and sat on the chair, that's the equivalent of Boba Fett sitting on Jabba the Hutt's chair.
I mean, it was interesting to see Bib Fortuna come back, like I was saying earlier, but
Bib Fortuna, and he's all fucking bloated.
Yeah.
They wonga.
But it's going to be an interesting premise, too, because if you've read Star Wars The Bounty Hunters novel, I mean, it gives you a little bit of insight into Boba Fett. We talked about it before. But seeing where it goes from here is going to be very interesting. So
my question was...
Go, somebody go.
So when we saw...
It's all a fucking legend now.
Yeah.
But when we saw the other Mandalorians, there was 3 of them. What happened to the dude?
He couldn't be bothered.
He probably died so they could have the girl power moment. Which, by the fucking way, that is how you do a girl power moment.
Oh, it was... Yeah, they all just went in there and...
Because we were so anti-Avengers Endgame girl power moment. Because it was so fucking obvious. It was forced.
Yeah.
But this one was so fucking natural that at first I didn't notice it until some other people were like calling attention to it. I was like, yeah, that's totally a girl power moment.
And that's one of those ones that's not annoying as shit because it, like you said, it's not forced. These characters have fucking story behind them. They have fleshed out characters, and it's believable. Cara Dune's running around fucking blowing shit up in her fucking gun jams. She's smacking the shit out of it. Well, you know, it makes sense.
A laser gun jam.
Well, that's a whole nother story, but yeah.
Which, like, yeah, she's fucking. Which was a cool scene because she's just like, it jams it and then it unjams and she just starts fucking massacring that hallway of stormtroopers while screaming about how much she hates trans people.
God. I looked more into that after that show, and I was just like, what the fuck did she do? It's like, I still don't get it, but, you know, maybe that's just me.
No, like, she's not as bad as Ronda Rousey, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely not. Well, I'm not a big fan of Rousey at all, but...
As soon as she came out as a Sandy Hook denier, I was just like, no, you're kind of a scumbag. I don't like you anymore.
It wasn't even that. It was just when she went into WWE, she just was like, I'm here. And, like, okay, that can't be your whole gimmick. You're here. You need to fucking do something.
Remember when she was so butthurt that people were booing her?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. But
anyway,
so.
And what, like, the thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was, like, Bo-Katan was handed the Darksaber if you watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Oh, I didn't see Clone Wars. All I saw was Rebels. I need to go back and watch Clone Wars.
She is in Clone Wars, and she was handed the Darksaber.
Oh, okay.
Much like Din Djarin tried to hand it to her.
Okay. I'll have to look more into this.
Another tangent I kind of want to go off on. Fuck everybody else who's just like, oh, they're just fitting the Mandalorian into the Skywalker saga, and I don't like it. They're shoehorning Skywalker into this. Fuck you.
No, that's what people wanted to see. I don't want my last memory. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying, anybody who can't fucking just enjoy Star Wars, fuck you.
Yeah. I don't want my last memories of Luke Skywalker being milking a fucking space cow. I seriously...
Drinking out of that. Like, I don't think that movie should have been rated PG-13 off of that scene.
Yeah, I hope they do more with it. And there is talks, like you were saying, Sebastian Stan coming in to do be Luke Skywalker, you know.
I don't, like, they've kind of teased that, like, Luke Skywalker and Grogu are going to get their own spin-off. Sebastian Stan looks shockingly like the young Mark Hamill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Like, he's already a Disney guy. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see Mara Jade and him and, you know, that whole area of story. Disneyize it. Do whatever you need to do. Change it enough so you can call it your own and still steal from the legacy shit. But, yeah.
The Mara Jade storyline would have been the coolest thing that Disney could do, but they just didn't.
Yeah.
Because what was it? What Mara Jade was his daughter, right?
Wife.
Eventually.
Yeah.
What wasn't there? No, it wasn't. Didn't he have a daughter who fell to the dark side?
Yeah. I haven't gotten that far in the books, though.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
Well,
no, I know of it, though.
alert.
I know of it. I know of Han's kids, and I know of Chewie, and I know of all that stuff. I just haven't read it yet.
Han's kid doesn't go to the dark side, but I think it would be so much more interesting that, like, Luke Skywalker, the paragon of the light side of the Force, and his daughter falls to the dark side and becomes the ultimate enemy of the group.
Yeah.
That was such a good story in the books. That'd be such a great story as a TV show or as a new trilogy. And Disney was just like, nah, we're going to focus on Rey.
Little Rey Palpatine. Aw.
Which, like, I was always one of those people who, like, no, those were good. You just got to, like, look past a couple of these inconsistent flaws. But, like, after, you know, what's his face, Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had more character development in a 38-minute show than Rey had in 3 movies.
Right.
It's yeah, it's sad but true. It just didn't really do much with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my Star Wars now.
yeah, you see-
We
yeah. We heard it hitting
Oh.
the fucking porcelain a few minutes ago.
Look,
It's shit. But yeah,
I've
that's
been
it.
taking testosterone pills. I've got big loads right now.
Fuck. So that was the big finale for The Mandalorian, and they're not
God, it
gonna
was
have
so
another
good.
season until next year. We don't get any Mandalorian until 2022. 2020, yeah, 2022.
What?
There's no Mandalorian until 2022.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
I heard 2021, but
Oh, let me check.
No,
see.
2021 is the Book of Boba Fett, you stupid fucker.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
I didn't
It's
mean that,
it's
I'm
gonna
sorry.
it's I'm sorry. It's gonna premiere December 2021. So
yeah, same time as the Book of Fett.
right at the ass end of 2021. But yeah, it's been confirmed it's going to be him still, and that Boba Fett's going to be separate, and then the 40 other shows that they announced are going to get crammed in there somewhere.
Oh god, how hard did you cry when Mando took off his helmet for Grogu?
If he hadn't have done it the episode before, I think it would have had more meaning behind it.
It's still hitting me hard.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's like, oh, we just saw that last episode.
V, like, V speaking father to father, like, that was just like ugly crying.
Oh yeah. No, it got me because all of a sudden he's just like, and he puts his hand up there, and I was just like, oh.
Oh god! And then the Mandalorian, or Din Djarin, who's this fucking battle-hardened, fucking bred for war, badass, and he's just got tears in his eyes watching his kid basically go to college.
I guess that would probably be the
Well, 'cause
best.
you grown on this. You go from this guy who's just like, okay, I saved you because I don't think it's right that we just like fucking throw this kid away. But going from
Yeah.
like you're a burden to like, you fucking look at this kid cross-eyed, I'm fucking taking your head off.
What was your reaction to when Grogu at the first episode of the first season when Grogu was revealed, or Baby Yoda at the time?
Well, when they first took the thing off and you first saw
The
him.
thing takes off and you see the big ears and you see the little green baby. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
My big
Yeah.
thing was, when the fuck does this take place?
Yeah,
Because
that was my thing.
I was like, is that fucking Yoda? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, because at the time I didn't know the timeline. I'm like, is this like really Baby Yoda? Like, are we looking at like, well, what the fuck is this? And I was like, okay, cool. And then
I kind of had that thought too, because like I was like, I read, oh, the Mandalorian's supposed to take place 5 years after the Return of the Jedi, but then they have this happen, and I'm like, whoa, what?
well, that was the thing. Then I start rolling through my head because the doctor that they had there, he was really big into the clone project, and I'm like, okay, is this a clone? Is this a clone of Yoda or Yoda? I'm like, is this Yoda's clone? Is this what the fuck's going on? So at the very beginning,
to see the baby.
at the very beginning, I was confused, but yet intrigued. I was like, okay, where are they going with this? And then all of a sudden, you got this fucking, egg-eating, fucking, ship's part-stealing, fucking, force-choking motherfucker, like, taking everybody's hearts. Like,
Yeah, people don't talk about that anymore, but he choked the shit out of Cara Dune.
yeah, they don't know that fucking Grogu is like the fucking pimp sex motherfucker. He's like, I choke you, bitch.
I don't ever want to think about that again. He is a toddler, sir.
Jesus.
He is 50 years old, my friend.
He is 50 years old, and he is ready to fuck.
Oh my god. There we go.
He was just like, Who's your
And
daddy?
and
Rah!
and we've just sparked off a whole new Pornhub trend. Which, by the way, I am kind of mad we didn't talk about this on the main episode of the show. But like, did you see that Pornhub got rid of a shit ton of its content?
No.
No.
Fucking what? Am I the only one who's up to date on my Pornhub news?
Evidently.
I guess so, yeah.
The fuck?
So, Pornhub got rid of like 70,000 videos.
What? Why?
Well, a lot of them have had to do with like they might be around a child pornography ring.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
And then there's the child porn ring. There's a bunch of federal streaming rights because copyright claims because Pornhub doesn't have that anymore. So people would make a Pornhub account and just download or upload full Disney movies.
What the fuck?
And Disney can't do shit about it. And then the person who uploaded like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs would get paid for all this stuff.
Hiding behind a wall of porn.
Yeah.
The porn safety net.
Like you legitimately find like all these movies in Pornhub that weren't Pornhub didn't have a copyright claim.
Nice. It's a good way to circumvent the system, I guess. Somebody's using their brain.
So child porn and Disney is why they lost 70,000 videos.
I'm guessing more Disney than child porn, but yeah.
More Disney and a lot more copyright stuff.
Yeah.
I do know there was like a big thing at one point that one of Pornhub's like biggest like video whatever was like some like I don't know if it was like girls do porn or something like that. It was a lot of people came out and claimed that it was more of a sex trafficking, like these women were brought on drugged and forced to.
Well, there was a lot of sex trafficking in it, but it was just like, hey, like you're already here, and like and you're not gonna have the money to go back home unless you do this porn scene, so you might as well just do the porn scene.
Right.
And then we'll let you go home.
Okay. And then we'll give you money, and then you'll be able to afford to go home.
There you go. That's a perfect business model. Where do I sign up?
That's how wrestling works, isn't it?
Much.
You already paid you already paid your way here. You might as well just work the show for free.
Yeah, I love when they pull that one on you. Oh, it's a charity show. Which charity?
Sorry, bro.
Charity show.
The house was light.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. Didn't sell enough tickets. Okay, well,
the door was kind of light, bro.
Not my fault or problem.
Well, we kind of agreed on this price, so give me this price or I'm gonna beat your fucking ass.
Yeah. So, we got anything else to go? We're pushing the fucking. This is the thing of the longest episode about nothing.
Well, yeah, it had to be the longest episode about nothing because we have nothing to talk about, and then we had Mandalorian talk that we had to save for the very end, which we had to just goosh about.
And I'm spent. All right.
God, it's the tip's so sensitive.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's it, fuck it. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is dropping because we're recording it on Christmas. We're doing this for you guys.
Merry Christmas.
We love you guys, our listeners. And happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa.
All 10 million of you.
Festivus, whatever else is out there.
Yo, Festivus is legit.
No shit, that's good stuff. It's for the rest of us. So, for
the rest of us.
wonderful Zach Winters.
I want the poll that we complain about each other with.
What? The pole?
You remember that part? They
Oh, that's
pole,
right.
And
That's
then they have their complaint.
for Festivus. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Keep going with it. Keep going with the outro.
For Big Vicious.
I'm so lost, but anyway, love y'all.
I am Darkness. Merry Christmas, and the asylum is closed.